Welcome to the fifth and last unit of environmental impact assessment. So you're talking about sectoral EIA. So it's mostly like case studies. What are the because so far you discussed about what is the basic EIA methodologies, and you had also discussed about what are the tools used for that. I mean, the basic introduction of EIA, or the requirement of the historical background behind that, all the necessity of that. What are the different components of EIA? Then we talked about what tools they used for that. We talked about social impacts, social impact assessment, and then we also talked last time strategic environmental management plan, strategic environmental management plans to tackle with these mitigation measures. Now we'll talk some of the examples in different sectors. So here I have given a detailed information about some of the sectors, so which again I will not go details because this is mostly for explanatory point of view. You can read through the details because and at the end I'll also show you how exactly you have to go about it in the website. I'll open and show you how is available and what are the different steps behind that. Okay, so now let's start with it. Sectoral EIA means EIA for different sectors, some of the case studies in different sectors. So here we are talking about EIA related to the following sectors: infrastructural sectors, how the EIA carried out; construction, housing sectors; mining, industrial, thermal power, river valley and hydroelectric, coastal projects, nuclear projects. So these are some of the things. I'll just give you some overview. In fact, we can find more details. I'm not going to cover details about everything because as an exercise you can do that, but I'll show you where it is, how can you do it. Okay. So this is is a detailed form. For example, Form 1 along with the pre-feasibility project report proposed by TOR, term of reference, MOF. Ministry of Environment Forest will send that proposed terms of references before EIA approval. So first we want to send that. So once that form has to fill up, so scoping is done. Is environmental assessment committees by site visits. So this committee is set up by the organizers, not by the MOF. For proposing, you will have your own that environmental assessment committee. So we'll site visit for subgroup of EIC if necessary. Application rejected by wait a minute. So no, I just made a mistake. So this form submitted by the proposers or the owners based on their own studies. So EIA after the terms of reference for EIA is submitted to that, which is summary like abstract of the EIA. So and so for EAC is a committee by the Ministry of Environment Forest, of course, on climate change. So they have their group which may visit or subgroup may visit to this if necessary, or may not be required. So they will simply reject by MOF. The EAC recommends that they may reject it, or they approve. If rejects it, again you have to apply again because they write out what is the reason why they rejected it. If there is something incompatible, reject it. So if it is approved, then draft EIF report is to be sent. So it will be displayed on the MOF website. Where I'll show you how it's UI reflected. Then draft EIA report to State Pollution Control Board and by the project proponents. Or this is State Pollution Control, Union Territory Pollution Control Pollution Control Center committees. So for state it is SPCB, Union Territory, UTPCC. This board is committee. Union Territory Pollution Control Committees. Councils by the project proponents. So draft EIA they send to them state levels. So the public consultations process, SPCB, whether it's corresponding state or union territory, they will try to a public consultation about that. Then proceedings of the public consultations, they will come. And once they send the draft copy there, summary of EIA and Form 1 display in the SPCB UTT, the website, their own website will display it, not the MOF website. And then proceedings of the public consultations, they display on the panchayat level so that people can understand that. The panchayat things, and on the SPCB or UTPCC websites they put it. And then proceedings to the MOF. the proceedings, the public consultation, they send to MOEF, and also send to proponents of the finalization of EIA. They approve it. They proceed MOEF, so they give comments for that. So after that, approval and recommendation by EAC. Same EAC, that the committees which are environmental assessment committees. So the appraisal recommendation by EAC. After that, the EAC, after getting this, they'll give recommendations. A recommendation also show here in the Ministry of Environment and Forest website. Now here, after proceedings of public consultation, they communicated to the finalization of EIA and to submission to MOEF. So these people are communicated, the owners. So they are now send it to the appraisal committee. Recommendation they send there. So after send there, MOEF decides. So EIA is sending here. After that, decides, and after decides, if he rejects it, it's gone. Again, you have to start from beginning, or it referred back to EAC under communication with the project proponent. So EAC again send back. EAC has to again go through under these processes, and EAC has to again give decision, communicate to the MOEF. EAC is a part of MOEF. Okay. If there is a referred, means some other clarification they need, either they reject it or approved. If approved, they display in MOEF website. So here, MOEF website will display TOR and also the approval of that EC or environment clearance. And so after the clearance, so is a clearance. Post EC monitoring. After that also you are monitor for the and the mitigation measures. So submission of half yearly compliance report you have to send to MOEF, and the display in the compliance report MOEF websites. So this is the full procedures of that. This proponent should apply for CRZ clearance as per proponents, and this coastal strategic zones actually. So in that case, if any clearance in coastal areas or in strategic areas, in that case, you have to separately apply for that as per applicability. Otherwise, this general procedures for that. Coastal regulatory zones. So 10 nautical miles of the zones on the coast will want coastal regulatory zones. So for that, a separate application required available in addition to this. Any mining activities in coastal areas or something. So now we talk about some of the different sectors. Infrastructure sectors. Infrastructure sectors, again for EC annual clearance for infra projects, a category will be central government, prior EC from central government on the MOEF on the recommendation of expert appraisal committee. I told environmental expert appraisal committee EAC. They recommends it. Category A projects. Category B projects, prior for that EC required from central government MOEF. And prior EC for state and union territory. So for that here, union territory environmental impact assessment authority. The state union territory environmental impact assessment authority, SCIEA, on recommendation of the state or union territory level expert appraisal committee. So this category B means detailed category. Category you will see that categories. Category will be a list of projects which are details are not required for that, and this details required for category B projects. We will see that category A projects comes under all oil, gas explorations, mining, equal to XX or coal mine, this airport including these things, national highways and things. So these are the category. Category B is category A is actually major projects. These are major. This has to be approval given by Pollution Control Board only, MOEF. But here approval state level can be given. Category B is a lesser, smaller impacts, lesser zone. So that different lists are given. Category A should be given only by central government. This way state government can give it. That's the idea. So category A will have, see, this area equal to or in excess of 50 hectares. But here only 5 hectares, not less than 5. Less than 5 you don't need that. For coal mine mining area, not more than 150 hectares. So this way, you can have different categories. All highways expansion specified terrains areas. So then first screening stage, then scoping stage, then public consultations, then approval. You can see public consult, you will open to public, then finally after that duration, then approval, appraisals. So screening stage only for category B. Whether not environmental impact assessment required. requiring environmental assessment called B1, and others are B2. So only for category B we'll have the options. These category B's, these have the option for screening. Category, as I mentioned, category, I think I made a category A. Okay. Yes, I made some mistakes. Category A is generalized projects, which are not very major projects, so which central government can provide. Category B will have detailed analysis by state government, also verification required for that. So these are the things. Category A, both of them needs EIA. You see, both of them need EIA. There is something which doesn't need EIA, that's different. Both of them need EIA, but the category A projects will have, central government has to give this, and here state government also to involve with it. Now you can see for these are the procedures of both the category A but B, both are the screening, both are scoping, both are public consultation, both are appraisals required for that. So for category A, stage 1, screening is applicable to category B only, not for A. Because decide whether can be done, not done, can be B for B. A has to be done, must. A do not screening not required for that. It has to be done. Screening means deciding to do or not do. While MOF issues guidelines, so that is not required. Not required is B2. In that case, you don't have to go through that. B1 only have to get approval from central government. MOF issues guidelines time to time in regard to EIA, which are required on the basis of nature, location of projects. So when you communicate to MOF, it automatically grants it, whether it's B2 not required or B1 is required. So he'll give that. And anyway, A will be required always. Determination detailed term of reference. So after that, scoping, term of reference. Here you have to address all the environmental concern preparation. That scope has to be presented. You are referred to the applicant within 16 days received to the form 1. The 60 days you have to do that. Then public consultations. Here to consider the concern of locally affected people. So I will give options for them. So compulsory for category A and category B1. PC B2 is not required. So other than 6 specified ones, projects or activities within industrial parks, estate, expansion roads, highways which do not require any further acquisition of land or anything. So the category. So except these few areas, few things, others A and B1. If the road doing it not acquisition of further land, then that is not required. Because the government done by government only. So in this case, what happened? It's compulsory for public consultation. Public has to do. So in that case, public not necessary. You're not consulting, not encouraging anybody's land. Why you need that public? Then appraisals. So public consultation. You provide public to hear opinions. If they have any concerns or grievances, they can express. Scrutiny applications and other documents like EA reports and other public consultation submitted to applicant. So that is scrutinizing. Appraisal means scrutinizing. Then ESC, ACAC, strategic ESC and ACAC may be recommended grant of ESC, non clearance and stipulated terms and condition, or reject with regions. Then never redo that. This is assessment. And validity of EC granted for the project valid for the period of 10 years. In case of a river valley project, 30 years for the mining projects, 5 years in case of all other projects. So if it's exceeding further, you have to need for the post EC monitoring. Project management to submit 6 monthly compliances, 6 months. Every 6 months, you have to one compliance report with respect to stipulated terms and conditions. Because mitigation measures you have already proposed, so for that you have to check. Category A projects published in newspaper and other websites. Details of EC granted and stipulated condition and safeguard undertaken projects cost. Projects cost. So all the things cost has to be maintained by the proposers or owners. Recent developments of EC from infra projects. For infra projects, 2006 notification only re-engineered entire EC process, but also highlighted the need of introduce specific sectors, categories under sectors such as industry and infrastructure. The two different sectors that classified it. Taking this further, MOEF is in process of bringing EIA sector specific manuals. There were manuals for that. On May 5th, 2010, MOEF published EIA sector specific manuals for 10 sectors. But each sector is prepared. Contents of EIA sector specific manuals, model term of references of the sector, technical options. So they already provide us details. I'll show the website. You can explore all the things. And challenges for EC process, environmental clearance process. Time consuming, naturally. Exercise details to be sought with the applications. Reopening the technical issues during various days. Some other problems may come, which again need appraisals. Delay in appraisal meetings. Delay in constitution of SESA, strategic ESA. Environment assessment strategy, environment assessment committees, and increasing the public awareness and judicial activities. So these are the different problems we face. So now infrastructure is like that. Mining sector, what will have is like mining, like open cast mining. So in that case, environmental impact assessment, technical study, this has to carry out all the aspects. Then environmental impact assessment, impact statement, environmental statement. So for that, in accordance to philosophy, I'm talking something on Philippines regulatory requirements. So, but because I'm taking different sources, different context for this PPT, but principle is same. I'll show you that. So present results of EIA support the application and the development of environment and national resources, Environmental Management Bureau. Then EIA public consultation, EC application, EC's review. So similarly, social impacts. So meets this particular mine, for example, meets the corporate standards, presents the EIA. So it's just a case. On what particular case studies I'm showing here. Done like. So these particular case studies, they're mining projects defined. It's not necessarily India. You can explore India. I think I will show you the website. So it is some different aspects of water management, employee village, because the details are not available in your website. So that's why I've taken details from some other different countries for that purpose. So key components of that, so they can sketch for that, and there are activity for that, and flowcharts for that, and key components brought here, the impacts, the stakeholder engagement, how they engage stakeholders. You can discuss about that. What a planning phase, what different activities, what is status of that, issue scoping phase, response and feedback phase from people, and what are different stakeholders, what are the issues discussed with stakeholders. Then what is mining waste, how to manage that, rehabilitation and mining closure, how to do that. Closure means after the mining over. There's solid social impacts for that. If we go through that, I'm giving just synopsis. Resettlement of different villagers because of that. So, and activities which are part of the SDMP, human resource development and enterprise development, assistance for infrastructure, program implementing, so all the different specific activities. So this particular project from Philippines, you can see that. And then economic impacts for that. Just to give idea, previously they used to give all these impact EIA reports also. Right now reports are not given. Only the official orders are provided. Previously you could open any reports and go through that and see how they've done it. So that's why I have to collect from different sources, and there are no spread books available for this information. So they're showing how it is making difference, what changes are made. See just a report, how they see graphically they're explaining that. Nuclear power sector is another one, EIA. So you can see term of references for nuclear power plants and other related issues. They're given different outlines, guidelines. This is India, MOF, CPCB. So a bit description of projects. So write for the description of projects, summary. Then what are the Indian power plant program has 2 additional features, zoning, annual monitoring, and what is zoning, different zones of that. Exclusive zone 1.5 km from project site, 5 km from project site, sterilized zones, and 16 km project site is emergency zone, and impact assessment will be 30 km project site. So there 4 zones are there. So management methodology, different relative zones, what methods have been followed. So these are the guidelines given by them. So what are the sources, contaminant process, and contaminated medium, the mode of exposures, and habit, staying occupancy, and different doses to human beings. So you have to evaluate everything. What is a path for exposures? And possible paths of human exposure and environmental for liquid effluents. The gases of liquid effluents are coming, how it is going to reach there. You can have a look. So what are the different procedures they follow? Again, I'm not going to go through that. You please go through this. So then, this is the program, this is the report, land use planning, what is building permit, what is permits to pursue the Water Act, because it involves many things. It's water, it's air, so because you're evaporating, so you're having the solid waste, so everything had taken into account into that. Imperative assessment, limitation assessment, transboundary environmental impacts. It is outside one's boundary, what type of impacts can happen. Assessment projects are what are the other alternatives? Whether alternatives, we assess the alternatives or not. What is this? Then following 9 decision factors are applied for rating ranking. See how the details are taken, the different parameters they take. So now it is hydroelectric projects. So for that again, water being released under the pressure. So these projects, the objective of the studies, for why on studying, what is shift from the larger smaller hydro project needed or not, if any need for going abandon large projects. So this is how the hydroelectricity work. Just give some basic understanding for you. It's not necessary for the project. You can go through that. One project, E2P project for hydro projects. So what are the projects? What details about the specification for that? And what effectiveness of this mitigation measure that taken for that? What effectiveness they done? Part of the EIA. Then power projects, power plants. In that case, you can see what are power projects in India, and power generation. More than 600 crores every year, generating more than 5,000 millions of units electricity. So in that case, national electricity policies wise, achieving the following objectives. And then Electricity Act 2003 came over, and then the different sections of that act. I am not going through that. Just to give you information about it, please go through. We are expected to go through. So this is the information. What are the different acting power projects in India? Commission, decommissioning, under implementations. Then what is installation cost? Is definite village electrifications, coastal areas. So you'll have this coastal water and marine resources. So it is. So they'll have their again application for that. So this again is from another country. You can have full report for that. What is policy requirement for that? So based on that, they prepared the details. And then this is construction housing sectors. So they prepared draft methodology, full national review, pilot study of draft methodologies. Thai, see another country, revised draft methodology and prepare final methodology. So they followed different things. Key concepts and what draft methodology, and what is strategy, what are the results they got, what different steps they followed, setting priorities. And so the details are given for each step they followed. You can go through this. And integration and non-consideration. So these are the part of the reports they submit and get further clearance. So it is almost similar principle every country. Since you don't have reports or other things, that's why I'm taking different countries. Also another way you can access that how things operates. So you can go through so that you'll get a clear idea. Environment planning terms they used, the acts. Urban planning, what is proposed process organ planning. And next thing is strategic environmental assessment and environmental assessment. Strategic environmental assessment just is a component of EIA actually, but always they may not do that. So for example, EIA applied to specific projects and their specification. Is applied to not a project, policies also, strategy, what is the approach, plans and programs with broad and long-term strategic perspective. It takes place during feasibility stage of the projects, but feasible or not that time. It takes place in the early stage planning. This is strategy means overall strategy. It's not just a matter of particular projects. So policy plans, everything. So this is presently SCA is more emphasized because this is the orientation before EIA. EIA is required, but SCA is comes before EIA. Then considers limited range of project alternatives. Here given a broad range of project alternatives. So based on that only you finalize, then carry on EIA. A certain option, then carry EIA. Now, so further, emphasis on mitigating environmental social impacts of specific projects. Emphasis on achieving the balanced social economic and environmental micro level growth, sustainable development. So it's much broader aspect. Both incorporated consideration of cumulative impacts and multi-stage iterative process and multiple groups. So that's why SCA is required. Again, you can go through why SCA is required. Now, before we start, now I'll show you how you can go for this. How actually a website will show you that. So let's see. You go to Google site, then you type MOEF, Ministry of Environment and Forest. Okay. Go there. So, forest and climate change. So now its website is moef.gov.in. You can open that. It's coming here. So you'll get Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So in this ministry, the MOEF website is the main thing. So now here you'll have home, what a ministry, what are the ministers and all the details, schemes, all the things. What are the different divisions, establishment division, environmental divisions, forest and wildlife divisions, where the different cells are there mentioned here. Project approvals, CDM approval. So now for EIA go to Parives. Parives separate website, you can open that Parives. Now you're asking the new website, yes. Parives, parives.nic.in. So this is where EIA has to be carried out. So Parives will have this dashboard you see. And then about, because the parent organization MOEFCC, you can go back there by clicking there. Different acts and clearance acts will be there. Forest clearance, wildlife clearance, so all the different aspects will be there. Now, notifications, EAC notifications, so all the notification comes will come here. Then agenda, MOM, so again minutes of meetings. So they'll also provide whatever they conduct. Now here itself, you want to track a proposal. You want to see how the proposals are. So it comes on non-clearance. Forest clearance, wildlife clearance, so we'll take a non-clearance. So click here. So clearance and try the current status of proposal. So some current proposals. Previously all the proposals you could see here directly. Right now, for example, such proposals received up to 3rd July. You'll see that on after 24th you'll see recent proposals. Or maybe such state proposals will go there. So let's see Tamil Nadu. Here it is. So all the proposals update up to 2015 here, live statistics. Now here you can see what is status of the proposals, how many accepted by CEC, what is withdrawal proposals, all the things transferred. So now extension validity. We wanted to search for our own specific proposals. Here search is not there, so I'll go back. It is here. Again I'll go. Tracker proposal will go to non-clearance. Let me search the proposal. Okay, which one? Let's see. I want to search mining. Okay, mining proposals. You can have search in any area, in the power sector, anything, any area you can have. I said mining. So many proposals are there. So now you can see TOR granted, terms of reference granted. That means after the EA has to be granted. So you can see the other different proposals. TOR granted, EC granted, non-clearance granted. So it's second stage. So let's open any of these. Let's see. Let's search for that. I'm searching this one. So now this to search this particular. It's not given. Granted, so that's not given. We'll go. We'll send another one. Okay, here it is. Here is one proposal is there. So what is status of that? Is the proposal, location, what is dates are received proposal, date of terms and reference granted. So finally A is pending. Let's see TOR. So the term of reference given by them. So you can see this given a ministry, forest. So they're given the committees after discussion recommend the following additional. So they're adding something. They visited. Their committees, ESUC. Expert assessment committees, so they're constituted by them. They held the meetings. They didn't write visiting the site. They held meetings. So based on that, they're asking for clarifications. Finally, EAS report submitted to ministry must incorporate. So they are taking the EAS will be submitted based on that. So this is communicated. Now we'll see another one. Let's see road. See, so different roads are there. So EC granted. Let's see what is status of this one is. EC granted. So we'll see what is this. Now these organizations. So Andhra Pradesh, Krishna district, this village. So they are asking bulk drug unit. So asking for that near the road, number so and so. Now you can see what is EC. Let's download. Now you can open. See, this is the clearance given by them. Annual clearance. So bulk this the subject. Then hereby in so and so along with this pre-feasibility report, AAMP seeking annual clearance. Thanks. Ministry examined application, noted that the proposed clearance for the bulk so and so place located same thing, total water requirement like this. So they verified this one aspects of that. Total cost of the project is this much. Specific condition, what is cyclone separator followed for that, followed by weight. So they are the conditions met for the mitigation program. Solvent generated from that have taken care of the liquid part, solvent recovery part, the total water requirement part. Then general condition, the project authority shall strictly adhere to the stipulated Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board. So all the information is given them. You see that? Granting along with this condition, the separate environmental management cell equipped with the full-fledged laboratory shall be set up to carry out this. You can see project proponent shall inform the public that the project has been accorded with the environmental clearance from ministry. So all the things are there. Copy sent to them. Can see that? Okay. So now you can see. So this way you can find out. Previously they used to give full report also. Now the report is not now providing. See this data sets there for details about that, which locations, organizations, all details they are providing. Forest and land requirement applicant. So this is the format. Certified copy of the compliance report. Something compliance they sent. Date of site visit. Compliance status. Solvent generated from that is compliant or not. See. This is how they have to. This question they raised. They have answered that. Second time also question raised. This first one. So that also showed here. This organization. So they can photos and supporting that. And second time again they ask for further clarifications. And you can see here. So again multiple times they have clarifications. So second rounds they have gone through. Okay, they have visited that certified copy compliance report. So the specific condition they had, what is compliance? Second separator followed by your scrubber has been provided to control these conditions. So the capacity of this, the writing with appropriate stack height, the reactor shall be provided with appropriate stack height with dispersion of pollutants as per CPCB guidelines. So HCl has to be scrubbed and scrubber and dilute HCl shall be used. So they're writing that. So they're writing that all the reactors are connected to scrubber and scrubber materials are connected to this. See, just say. So this way all these conditions are made. Get a clear idea how this, what a compliance, how they refer to. So 2 times they have sent, and after that, finally they give clearance. Okay. So you can this way you can search for that and get some clear idea about this. Same thing also forest clearance, wildlife clearance, central regulatory zones, CRZ. So you can find all the information here. environmental clearance also. If you want for information, you can find compendium, EIA notification, what are the committees, what are the rules, what are the acts. So you have, this is a very good place for you to find out. And very important here, you can go for the manuals, user manuals. So manuals for user for exotic life species, no increase in pollutions, the manuals for grain based distilleries, manual for EC conditions. Okay, so this is important. EC conditions uploads, so you have to go through this one, they have to go through this one, and based on that they have to prepare the documents. So how to go online uploading now, registrations, and what are the different questions they ask, how they fulfill that. Previously manual uploading, that's why they used to give. Now online, so all details are not available now. Manual uploading. So asking different files for different things, amendments, EC letters, release 7 confirm. Okay, hope you get some overall perspective about the EIA and importance of that. Okay, thank you very much.